Nowadays, hospitality, F&B industry is constantly shortage of staff. We always hearing clients telling us, okay, I cannot find enough front of house staff, operation staff. But what makes people want to join the company is one of the things is the core value, and one of the things is the brand stories. And LinkedIn is a good place for you to build that. When you're highlighting your team members, when you're highlighting who's behind the team, really celebrating, their hard work and motivating them. Not only you motivating your team members, you're also letting people who want to join the industry see, wow, this is a great company I can work for.
That opens a whole new can of worms, doesn't it, of employee marketing, or what if, I don't know, it has another name. Employer marketing, maybe that's the one. Yeah, where you're basically just marketing with the goal of, reaching potential employees.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Toaster by Monologic, where we talk about business, marketing, entrepreneurship, and food and beverage industry in general. This is Alexandra and this is Kieran. Today we want to talk about is LinkedIn a good thing for restaurants and bars?
It's an interesting question because it's not the first platform that would come to mind for restaurant marketing.
I definitely say we're actually getting more and more questions and inquiries from clients though. They start asking a lot about LinkedIn marketing because, for me in social media for over 7 years, I would say I heavily focus on Instagram and Facebook. But for myself, I start to focus a lot more on LinkedIn the past years. And it's been great because I think LinkedIn is definitely a lot more organic in terms of engagement. And you can actually get good engagement if you make great content, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it all comes down to people connect with people.
Yeah.
All of the time, what we're trying to do, even on Instagram and Facebook, is personifying the business. It's talking about the people that work there, who owns it, who runs it, what's the story. A lot of the times it's a personal story, a restaurant, right? And so LinkedIn would be an obvious kind of choice to talk about, the people behind the restaurant and the professional story that is, it's their work. So it seems like the place that makes the most sense.
Yeah, feel difference between different platforms, right? When it comes to when it comes to Instagram, Facebook, it's more like very photogenic, very photo focused. Nowadays, they start introducing short videos because of TikTok. And then it comes to TikTok, YouTube, it's like very video focused, short videos, very sharp, very quick content. In general, people will focus on one content less than 8 seconds, right? So these channels are focusing a lot more on the visual stimulation when it comes to the channels. But LinkedIn is a bit different because LinkedIn is always a platform for, we'll say, business people, right? Like us. We make a lot business related content, B2B content.
B2B.
But sometimes people might neglect on that because they think that, for restaurant it's B2C. Like I'm facing customers. I'm attracting people, foodies. I'm attracting people who love food. Why does it matter for business? But actually,
people on LinkedIn might not necessarily be in the market. Well, definitely aren't in the market to book a restaurant, right? It's, I want to book a restaurant. I'm going to go to LinkedIn.
Yeah. But it goes back to your branding. The point is you need to have your brand to see at least 3 times for people to remember your name, right?
Could be even more, but yes.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah. Another thing is, I thought of a very interesting question. Yes, LinkedIn is full of business people, but don't business people also need to eat as well?
Rural people.
Yeah, we all need to eat lunch, business lunch, meeting, dinner.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm a businessman on LinkedIn, but I still need to find a place to, have a dinner with my girlfriend for anniversary,
I think people are much more likely to go to a restaurant when it's supporting someone they know as well.
Yep.
So when you put the person to the brand, I think that's powerful. It's soft power. It's definitely not marketing to, here's the booking link, for sure.
I think the LinkedIn content definitely is not the kind that you post on Instagram and Facebook as well. On Instagram and Facebook, you post one of the dish and then say, today, dish of the month, you should come and try our specials. Or, a very appetizing video showcasing your summer menu, for example. It's definitely not this kind of content, but I do see some restaurant group did pretty well. I think in London there's JKS restaurants. They did their LinkedIn marketing very well. Why I say so, because they highlight a lot of their team, like who is behind the restaurant groups. When it comes to big groups like this, it's very easy to just focusing on the concept and forget who is behind it. So having this kind of content to highlight for your team members is actually very great content for both your customers and your team as well. It actually comes to a point that I thought of earlier. Nowadays, hospitality, F&B industry is constantly shortage of staff. We always hearing clients telling us, okay, I cannot find enough front of house staff, operation staff. But what makes people want to join the company is one of the things is the core value, and one of the things is the brand stories. And LinkedIn is a good place for you to build that. When you're highlighting your team members, when you're highlighting who's behind the team, really celebrating, their hard work and motivating them. Not only you motivating your team members, you're also letting people who want to join the industry see, wow, this is a great company I can work for.
That opens a whole new can of worms, doesn't it? Of employee marketing, or what if, I don't know, it has another name.
Your marketing.
Employer marketing, maybe that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're basically just marketing with the goal of, reaching potential employees. Like restaurants are just like every other business. They need to hire people. They have their own brand vision and brand story and brand values. So, it would make sense that they would, LinkedIn makes sense as the channel to put that all across, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is a way where it works for, bigger groups or like restaurant group, medium-sized group in general, where you have a few outlets, where you have a bigger team that you can, start highlighting more on the brand story, brand movements.
Milestones.
Milestones. I win an award, we keep
Sure.
seeing it on LinkedIn, right? Which is great content for LinkedIn. I think, but however, I think LinkedIn is not just for bigger groups. I think it's a misconception. People always feel like, oh yeah, it's more like for the groups or like hospitality group, hotel groups, etc. But actually, another way we can look into is personal branding. LinkedIn is a great place for personal branding, to share your own personal entrepreneurial journey, share your own business tips, share your own industry insights. There are so many new functions that LinkedIn has introducing, and I think it's been great.
You've been capitalizing on those.
Yeah, I love it. I actually stay on LinkedIn every day. I would say if my social media usage is a pie chart, I think I use LinkedIn for 80%.
That much?
Yeah. So some good function that LinkedIn have been introducing, which I think will benefit restaurateurs or hospitality fellows, would be the newsletter function, would be the collaborative articles function, and poll function. I feel like so many people on LinkedIn are start using polls as a mini market research functions.
Well, yeah, right. And the newsletter function as well. I've seen you've been putting out a few newsletters, and they seem to be great for SEO too.
Yeah,
which is amazing.
So just to plug in my restaurant F&B newsletter on LinkedIn, is Restaurant Marketing Insights, where I share weekly articles about the F&B industry. But the thing is,
they're a good read, in fairness.
Yeah, it's really good because it's no longer like you need to make a whole newsletter about it. Some very big restaurant marketing or personal branding guru, they have their own newsletter platform. But you can start from small. You can make your own newsletter fully supported by LinkedIn now. You can make the content that you like, focusing on your industry, and you can start, sharing this newsletter on a bi-weekly, weekly, or even monthly basis to share to your audience. And you don't even need to use email platform anymore because LinkedIn will send it for you. So it's actually pretty good, and the articles will also show on the LinkedIn website as well, which is very good for search. But I mean, the point is also to connect with the community a lot more. I received so many, sweet comments and messages from industry people saying, oh, these are the topics that people don't really talk about. But now you can easily write about it, and, it's just a short article, it's like 400 words, but you can easily find people that have the same, business interest to form this community with you. So I definitely see LinkedIn is growing, and it's getting more and more important for a personal branding purpose.
Using all of these features as well will presumably help you to perpetuate your content, right?
Yeah.
So it makes it easier to find as well. I think, so I mean, that's all very important as like the business owner to post about, to put a face to the brand. There's also another side, which is like employee advocacy. So it's about your employees posting about their own milestones or the company's milestones, or even just about the brands and things that they appreciate on LinkedIn or other social media channels, as a sort of personal branding for themselves as well that relates back to your business. So they can, because at the end of the day, if you've got a whole team of people that are all LinkedIn thought leaders, they all have valuable opinions on the platform, that's going to create a huge reputation boost for your business as well. So if they're talking about like, oh, this is like such a great place to work, and like we just did like our company Christmas party, it was so much fun, and we did this and that, people think, oh, well, it seems like a nice company, it seems like it has like a nice value, that it looks after its employees. And so it makes even just customers or people that are on the platform that just see it, they might feel warmly to it and more likely to visit.
Yeah, and apart from that, I think like one of the important thing is about engagement. Like Instagram and Facebook has been facing a problem for a long time, is their engagement is very low. Like if you're doing something organically, like for us marketers right nowadays, if you don't run ads on Facebook, your post is basically like gone.
The platforms are super oversaturated.
Yeah.
It seems like LinkedIn's a bit of a blue sea at the moment, where there's not a huge number of people being particularly active on it, or at least outside the US.
I think, yeah, and I think for the content it's more selective as well. Like they really celebrate people truly have opinion for the industry, for the business. I always feel like when it comes to KOL, like key opinion leader, you need to have a key opinion, and I think LinkedIn really celebrating that, and they will definitely recommend you to more people. And I think one good thing is you can repost. So when people really like your content, they can repost to their feed. It's a very common function, but at the same time, in the business world, it's basically networking for you online. They sharing your names to the people that might be interested. So it's a very great, I would say it's definitely a very great community, and I definitely recommend like restaurateur and chef founders or industry people in general to look into this platform. And I think for hospitality in general, it's not really being tapped into it fully yet.
Yeah. One of the other things I really like about LinkedIn for establishing a personal brand and, to position yourself as a thought leader in a particular subject is, and it circles back to one of the other points that you mentioned earlier, which was collaborative articles. You can basically contribute to these collaborative articles. They're like these AI-generated articles. And if you interact with it enough and get upvoted enough, you can get a little badge that says you are a thought leader in that topic. So it's like a really easy way of just working hard towards almost proof. Like, here's an extra badge that says you are an expert, right? So it makes it a lot easier to establish and prove and have a recognition that you are a thought leader in any topic.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to learn more about, how to go to this like collaborative articles, how to make it more like, on the top voices, etc., feel free to check with us, and we are happy to give our, own experience and thoughts to everyone. So this wrap up our episode on LinkedIn. We covered quite a few interesting topics, and definitely LinkedIn is not something that very commonly used for the restaurant and beverage industry, and also not really commonly tapped in Asia market in general, I would say. Yeah,
so get in early, take advantage of the platform and the lack of competition, I guess. We'll see you in the next episode. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.